Hola, what's up guys? John here con Enemiga. We're gonna call her Enemiga because she used to be best friends with Kylie, and then that's how I met Kylie, and then her and Kylie became enemies and they don't talk anymore. And Kylie gave me the ultimatum: if I ever talk to her again, she'll never talk to me again. But Kylie has gotten with a broke boy, and so she was kind of like hiding it, and I knew I could tell. When you have the gut feeling, you can tell when someone's lying, and she was lying about it. And so when she was lying about having her broke boy, then I even asked her, before I went on the surf trip, I said, "Baby, you have a boyfriend already?" She said, "No, baby, I don't have a boyfriend." She said, "Oh, don't worry, I'll tell you if I have a boyfriend, because you have so many girls and it bothers me and I don't say anything to you. So I won't have a problem telling you." But she didn't tell me, but I knew it. And then my other girlfriends told me that Kylie has her boyfriend, and I saw it on her Facebook profile too. But anyways, so me and her got in touch again, and now that's why I'll call her Enemiga, like meaning friend enemy, or enemy friend, because now we're like back together again, because I met her first before Kylie, but me and Kylie got way closer than me and she did before. And now me and her are super close again. She's now like my girlfriend, and so because she's always here with me and we're always doing everything together now. And so that's what we'll call it. We're in my office right now in the other place, because we were like hanging out at my other place, and then I had to do some work and calls, and she just took a shower and got ready. So we're just gonna chill out here for a bit while she rolls this joint. I figured I saw this article in one of the expat groups that I'm in. And if you don't know what an expat is, I'll explain it again. An expat is short for expatriate. It doesn't mean like a patriot, like you're not a patriot anymore for your country, meaning like you are not loyal to your country. That's not what it means. It's like you are no longer living in the country where you're from, you're living somewhere else. So it means you're a person that lives somewhere else besides the country you're from. And so my suggestion to you guys is, anytime you are going to travel somewhere, you're going to move somewhere, I suggest you join the expat groups on Facebook that are in the place where you want to go to. She's looking for the lighter. Okay, found it. Anyways, this stand over here is kind of shaky. I don't like it. I should bring a better one over here. But anyways, so like what I was saying is that if you're hold on, let's fix this a little bit. If you're going to go travel somewhere or move somewhere, join all the expat groups that you can, and you're going to find a lot of useful information in there that will help you, and talk to other foreigners that live in that area. Now I lost the article. That live in that area, that you can ask questions, ask for tips and stuff. And some people are grumpy and like assholes when you ask stuff in there. They're like smart asses, so don't just ignore them. But you will get some good answers from people that are nice, and possibly make friends before you even go to the spot. And so I suggest you always join the expat group wherever you travel to. And you could even have things that I ask before I go to a new place. If I don't know anybody, I ask like, what do you guys suggest? What are your favorite restaurants, favorite bars, places to go that isn't really where all the tourists go? Some will give you the answers, and you just write it down, make some notes before you go, so that way when you go there, you'll already have some ideas of places to go, and maybe get some connections for people when you're there, and maybe even make some friends. Maybe some of these people that you're chatting with might become a friend, and you'll have like a better tour guide, someone that's local, that speaks English, kind of understands the same mentality, since you guys might be from the same country. Actually, that's how I met Hako John when I went to Costa Rica. I met Hako John through an expat group. And so you saw how that changed my life. For those of you that maybe are new to the channel, Hako John's who like pretty much laid out everything for Costa Rica for me, because he was living down there. And I met him from there. Complete stranger. Kind of made the entire playbook for me. And now we're good friends to this day. And he's come to visit me in Mexico. He's in Mexico right now. He's in Merida, and doing some medical stuff down there. And so he's going to be down there for the next couple months, and then probably down to Colombia and Thailand. He's been wanting to go. So, you know, that friendship came from being on an expat group, because I asked questions about before going to Costa Rica, and he saved me from all the old ladies and stuff, and the people hating and saying, "Yeah, if you're a sex tourist, stay home. Don't come here. We don't need people like you coming. You know, just ignore those haters." And then, you know, it just takes one person to change your life. And that's a perfect example of how that interaction due to an expat Facebook group had changed my life. And by it changing my life, I helped change a bunch of your guys' lives that have gone to Costa Rica and that have reached out, and that I've like maybe some of the videos I've made with him or videos that I made in Costa Rica giving you guys tips and advice, it has now reached out to thousands of you guys and changed your lives. And so you never know. That's why I'm giving you that advice. So she's shy. She don't want to be on camera. No te preocupes, baby. Yo voy a borrar tu cara. Now she's coming in the camera. She's so nice and sweet, guys. Right when Kylie leaves, God brings another good one back into my life. Or like right when some of my girls leave, he brings some new ones into my life. And you know, I've always been blessed like that. And you know, you always gotta keep growing your roster. And I'm kind of lazy to grow the roster because it's hard to find super cool girls like this that are just super chill. They don't ask for nothing, you know, they just want to hang out, and better than where they're at hanging out at home. You know, she works at a gym as the receptionist girl at a gym. I always ask her, how many guys hit on you over there? She's all the customers. They always ask for her number. All the guys that go there, but she gives them she gives them her number, but the wrong number. The last number is always wrong. I said, well, just say you have a boyfriend, so they will stop asking you. Or if they try to call you and they will ask you why you give a fake number, just say you got a boyfriend, so they'll stop asking. But anyways, like I was saying, I've been blessed to have her come into my life. When one leaves, you got to have something, someone, or both to kind of get your mind off of it, because it is kind of painful, you know. It's like a breakup almost, but you just got to be patient, and they'll always come back around. Always. It's like a cycle. If you're someone that's close to them and they trust you and they confide in you and they know you won't judge them for anything, then they'll always come back around, and you just got to be patient. It never fails. They always come back around. When broke boy breaks their heart, or the new guy they get with breaks their heart, they always come back. Even my girl comes back around. The one that I love, she always it just takes a little bit longer for her because she thinks she's going to find someone better. But it's just like clockwork. When they find someone, then they find something bad, find something out that's bad, or the guy has another girl or married or something, they always come back. But they don't want to admit that they fucked up, or that what you told them is true. They always got to learn the hard way. But anyways, back to what I was trying to do in this video. After I talked about, for you guys to join the expat group. We worked out at the gym today, the one over here, because she always wants to go work out. So I feel bad that if we go out and hang out and stuff, and then she doesn't go work out. So I told her, okay, when you come over early, we'll go to the gym together over here. And I signed her up for the membership over here, so we can work out together, and she won't feel guilty and I won't feel guilty. And another tip, this is kind of off the topic, but you should always have clothes at your spot if you have girls that come over and hang out. Like, I always have like packs of buy a bunch of underwear, socks, bras, fucking shirts, and even bikinis, and workout pants, because you never know what they need. And if they ask, and they want to feel fresh, so they won't want to have to go home to get changed or get clothes, or you know, or their clothes are super dirty already. Like if we went to the gym and they don't have clothes to change into, it's always good to have stuff for them to use. And like, you know, even if you're a guy, buy like the fucking shampoos, conditioners, and the fucking lotions and the things they use to get ready. You know, I even have the makeup mirrors that they use, the magnifying mirrors that lights up, so when they are doing their makeup, they can do that. And then I have a flat iron for their hair, a curling iron, and I have a blow dryer. I have all that shit for them, so when they come over, they have everything. It's like a fucking hair salon up in here, or a beauty salon. So that's a tip for you guys also. So that way, if you do have girls that come stay over and hang out, it'll allow them to stay longer and feel more comfortable. You know, she just showered and I gave her all the clothes. Oh, you should also have pads, tampons, all those kind of things, because you never know when they might start their period as well. So always be prepared. Oh, and always have your refrigerator full of fucking these coolers that they like drinking. You ask them what kind of coolers they like. Depending on wherever you're at, ask the local girls there what kind of drinks you guys like, so you fill up your fridge with that, even if you don't drink. Have weed if you don't smoke weed, even just still have it for them. And then chips. They always ask for munchies after. So those are good things to have to be prepared. But anyways, before I start again, I want to share with you guys, I brought out one of my girls that we haven't really hung out in a while, you know, because she started working at the clubs, right? And we're still close to this day. And whenever we hang out, even though we don't see each other for a while, it's like time never passed. And, you know, she's become corrupted to all the clients, obviously, and stuff. But to me, she's still non-corrupted. And I always tell her, I said, I can't believe you're not corrupted after working there. And she's all, no, I'm corrupted. She's all, I always get all the stuff I can from those guys over there, especially the guys she can't stand. She has clients that pay her like a lot of money, guys, just to fucking hang out, and they all want to be with her. They're all trying to buy her love, and they always try to win them over by giving them a lot of money, buying them gifts and stuff. And then what these guys don't realize is it pushes them away. They'll take the stuff, and it gets to a point where these guys are becoming like possessive and like trying to be controlling. They always say, the girls always tell me, like, these guys are too intense. You know, you guys don't know how to behave. It's like you're desperate. And like, they always think that the girls become their property just because they're fucking giving them money or paying them or paying for their rent, or maybe like giving them a lot of money for seeing them. And these guys are begging for a relationship. And I always tease her. And I said, oh, she's all, no, it's like some of them are so disgusting. I don't even want to be seen in public with them at all, you know. And a lot of guys are asking her to like go on trips with them. She doesn't even, like she said, she doesn't want to go with them. And doesn't want to be seen in public with them. And sometimes she'll just say some fucking outrageous amount thinking they're gonna say no, but then they say yes, they'll pay it. So like, she's like, fuck. And then I'm like, well, you know, like, do you feel safe? You know, she's all, yeah, kind of. But you never know with these guys. You never know who these guys, if they're already being like intense and possessive and controlling, and you're not even together, and just because you're giving them money and you think you're giving them a lot of money, that's where you go wrong, and you push them away, and you make them feel disgusted and want nothing to do with you. And so she was telling me about that, and you know, it was nice. We went to a vegan festival, and I brought her to the vegan festival. We walked around, had tacos. She's not vegan, but she just came with me and ate vegan tacos and shit, and she liked it, and bought some stuff, some like little handmade jewelries and horchatas, and I bought some tequila and mezcal, flavored tequila and mezcal, and we took some shots of that. And then we went to go up to the mall, and we walked around at the mall, and we went to go have some margaritas, and then went to go watch that Jason Statham movie. It was pretty good, and she understands English, so we watched it in English, and it had subtitles, so in case she didn't really completely understand it, then she had the subtitles. And so after that, we were gonna go home, and I said, hey, you want to get a drink? She's all, where? I said, and she said the same, she thought the exact same thing when I asked her. She's all, where do you think? She's all, okay. And so we were already on the Uber. I changed the direction from going home to going to the whorehouse. So we went to the whorehouse and hung out, looking down on all the girls working from the balcony and stuff, all the girls coming in. And she's telling me, oh, she knows all the girls. She's all, that girl's been here a long time. That girl's an old lady. That she knows, like, she's like pointing out and telling the story of every girl that works at the club, and them walking in like with their pajamas and shit. Every single girl walks in with their pajamas and stuff. And so we had drinks over there, and had drinks that were by the stage as well. And she said, oh, she saw a bunch of her clients, and she was telling me about a bunch of clients that are always trying to like fucking like wanting her to be their girlfriend. Guys, you gotta stop trying to ask these girls to be your girlfriend. If they want to be your girlfriend, don't ask them. It'll just fucking happen. Like, go out with them and build an attraction. Don't try to force it. That's the worst thing you can do. It's like when you try to chase a cat, and you try to chase the cat, it's gonna run away, jump, fucking do everything it possibly can, and be impossible for you to chase that cat. But if you just be chill and like do your own thing, and like show that you've got a lot going on, and not even trying to chase them or be needy and clingy or desperate, then the cat will come to you. And it's the same thing, you know, like with the girls and stuff. So you guys trying to force these relationships, you think buying them cars and shit. I have some of my girls, these suckers have bought them cars, and they think they own them, and the girl is picking me up, the girl is fucking picking up their broke boys, you know, they're doing all this shit behind their back. One of the guys is paying for the fucking house, and the dude showed up with flowers, and my girl came out and was like, dude, what are you doing here? And the guy, because he bought her car and everything, she came out, and then guess what? Her broke boy came out. Her ex was at her house, and she's like, dude, you can't be coming. The guy's heart was broken, you know? So like, these guys think that just because you buy them all this shit, that you think you're gonna win them over. They don't want to be with you. Even my girl that this guy showed up with a flower. She's like, I'm so sick of this guy. I don't like being with him. I can't stand being with him. I'm about to tell him just fuck off. I don't want to see him no more. She don't care about the money. She don't care about all the shit that he's gotten her already. She's just like, I'm so done with it. He's so controlling. He wants to see my location and everything, and like wants to know where I'm at, who I'm with, and all that stuff all the fucking time. Even my other girl said the same thing. These guys are calling him all the time, trying to ask who they're with and what are they doing, where are they, you know? And this guy's making her share a location, and she's like, I miss you so much. She's like, I want to come over and like come sleep over and have our slumber parties and just watch movies and hang out like we used to do and smoke weed. And she's all, but this motherfucker always is trying to like fucking make sure I'm home. And she's like, dude, he's this old man. Like, he just wants me to stay home. And when he's here, he wants me to be with him only. So it's either she's at home or with him. And she's like, dude, I can't be like that. I'm fucking young. I'm just 18 and you're fucking an old man, or you lived your life. She's like, I want to live my life. And so she's like ready to just say, fuck this motherfucker, you know, and just say, fuck it. Cause then they're just like so sick of it, you know, like these guys are boring. They're like not good looking. They don't take care of themselves. They're awkward and they're clingy and controlling on top of that. And so she's all, I'm gonna come over, but she's all, I'm just gonna leave my phone at home so he thinks I'm home still. I'm gonna just tell this motherfucker that I fell asleep, but I'm gonna come over and stay with you. I'm like, damn. So that way the location still shows that she's home, and she's just gonna say she fell asleep. So see guys, these girls, no matter what, they're always gonna lie, and you can't trust them. And like, if you're one of these guys and you think your girl is being loyal to you, and because you bought her all these things or you're taking care of her and shit, it don't work like that, man. They're gonna do it behind your back regardless. And I was like, dude, you're gonna drive over. She's gonna use the car that the dude bought her to drive over to my place and leave the phone at home. I'm like, you're gonna go without a phone? That's dangerous. I was like, you need another phone for emergency, you know, and then you leave your phone at home and then you can come. She's like, yeah. She's all, can you find me an iPhone for cheap? And she's all, not no old iPhone. She's all, at least a 11 or 12 or something newer like that. I'm like, all right, I'll find you one. She's all, just find me one for under $200. And then she's all, I'll pay you as soon as I get back from this trip with this old man that she has to go take. And the dude pays her a lot of money for going on the fucking trip, but she's just stuck in a hotel with the dude that they don't go nowhere. And she's like bored out of her fucking mind, you know? And she's all, I'm gonna go pick it up as soon as we get back. And she's gonna use the money that he gives her to buy that other phone, so that way she can still go out and leave the phone at home and make him think that she's home. And so that's what these girls are doing, man. But anyways, yeah, so she's gonna come over and do these things behind his back and just lie, and they don't give a fuck. So that's just a side lesson, a side note based on like what's going on right now in my life and what I'm observing. So, you know, I thought that was funny. That shit made me laugh that she's doing that. But that's what you guys need to watch out for, and not be that sucker, and not make money the reason why these girls are going to be hanging out with you, because if that's the reason, then there's no real genuine connection. They gotta fake it. Even my girl yesterday, she was like, I hate having to pretend. I don't like being fake. I don't like having to pretend that I'm having a good time or that I like the guy or whatever. She's all, it doesn't really even matter how much they're paying me. I just can't pretend. It's not me, you know? And I'm like, yeah, that sucks, because then you kind of really have to be an actress. And she's all, it's hard to do it for long periods of time. You know, here at the club or wherever, where you just got to do it for like 30 minutes, an hour, that's fine. But when they want to hang out outside and they're paying them thousands of dollars, she's all, it sucks, it's hard. And she's like, she hasn't even been coming to work because these suckers are paying her so much that she doesn't need to work, you know? And they come and she just sees them for like between 2 hours to 5 hours, and then they give her thousands of dollars, and then she doesn't need to go to work. But the problem is she just can't stand being with them. And so that should be a reflection on you guys to, if you're these guys that got to pay thousands of dollars or hundreds of dollars to hang out with a girl, then, you know, that should tell you something. When she went home, I just gave her money for the Uber, and that's it. And I was like thinking in my head, I'm like, God damn, guys are paying her thousands of dollars and they want to do what I just did with her, you know, go out and do real things, you know, like fucking, we went to the vegan festival, we went to the mall, we went to fucking go have margaritas at a nice restaurant, we went to go watch a movie, we went to the fucking whorehouse, all these things I did with her. She just loved to be with me. And when she went home, she's all, thank you, John. And she's all, I know we live so close, but we hardly see each other anymore, and I miss you so much. I had such a great time. She's all, thank you so much for the beautiful day, you know, and that made me feel nice. And it's just like, I wanted to share that because it just happened. And like, babe, puedes prender la luz también.
Hola, what's up, guys? Had to interrupt the video to bring you guys an important announcement. A lot of you guys watching, guys will discuss whatever it is that you're facing. It can also be other stuff. Maybe you're heartbroken and need advice or need something to help you get over that heartbreak. Maybe you have a wife or a girlfriend where you feel like she's cheating on you or things just aren't the same. I can help you analyze the situation and get over it. I've gone through a lot of relationships already with girls from all over the place, all over the world, different places, you know, so I've seen all the things that they do. Been in long-term relationships, so I know what a marriage feels like. I know what divorce feels like. I haven't been divorced, but in a long-term relationship to where I felt like divorce pretty much. And so I've seen a lot of people go through it, and I can help you guys that are going through these type of things too. If you need help, maybe like going to another place, I can put you in touch with people in different places in part of my network, or find people that are viewers as well that can help. That's why I'm doing this, to get the word across of the things that I can help you with. Not just that, if you own a business and you're accepting credit cards and you're still paying the fees, you don't got to pay the fees no more. You're pretty much just throwing your money in the trash. You're better off just using it on yourself, splurging, taking a vacation, enjoying like this in a pool in a tropical location somewhere where there's nothing but palm trees around and tropical birds, that kind of stuff, where the weather's perfect. You could be doing that instead. Or if you have some friends or family that own businesses that are still wasting their money paying the fees, you know, I'll be able to help. So I can help with a number of things, and I'll be glad to, you know, put you guys in the right direction. Same if you guys want to go to Costa Rica, I got friends out there. Cancun, I got friends down there. Philippines, I got a lot of friends out there. So you guys need help on any of that stuff, reach out. I'll be glad to put you in contact, so that way you can have a better experience all around. All right, talk to you guys soon. Adios.
It made me realize that I give her fucking $10 for her Uber, and guys are paying her thousands of dollars. And like, that should like show you. And then all these clients that saw us at the bar that were wanting to like be her girlfriend, be her to be their girlfriend and to hang out with them, you know, and they got to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for their time, you know. So anyways, I'm gonna get into this topic now that I've kind of shared some stuff that's going on right now. This one was supposed to be about the tipping protocol in Mexico, because a lot of people don't know how much you should be tipping. And like at the bars, you kind of just tip like $1 a drink or a couple dollars a drink or whatever. And kind of like when you're, same in the US, if you're buying bottle service or whatever, you just tip like 10, 15, 20%. That's like the standard. And so, but for those of you that travel outside of the whorehouse and are like going to normal restaurants or going to the grocery store and things like that, this was an interesting article because it broke down like the different types of places you're going to be tipping and like the amounts that you should be tipping. So that's why I figure I want to share this with you, because this will help you when you're stepping outside and doing normal things. So it's called, who's this from? This is from barbecueboy.net, barbecueboy.net, and he has this blog he writes, and he wrote this, someone shared this in the expat group that I was telling. That's why I talked about the expat group in the beginning, because this was shared. Someone said that this might be interesting and useful for you guys. And so I read it, and it was useful and interesting, and I'm going to share it with you guys so that way you have an idea of like how to tip and where when you're going to places, how much it's appropriate to go to tip in those different places. So it's called The Tipping Protocol in Mexico: How Much to Tip in Mexico and Who to Tip. As a foreigner visiting Mexico, you should know the tipping protocol so you don't overpay. And foreigners often overpay or underpay. Nobody wants to get the stink eye from a waiter. General rule, generally you don't tip as generously in Mexico as in the USA or Canada. 10% is the standard for Mexicans, and that may go up to 15% if the service was special. or if they're feeling extra generous that day. As a foreigner, you might be expected to pay more, especially if you're staying in a resort in a touristy part of Mexico. Just know that tipping is optional. Be generous, but know you don't have to be if you were unhappy with service. I'm the opinion of over tipping is a curse that foreigners bring to other cultures. You might be used to giving out 20% tips at home, but when visiting another country, you should follow local tipping protocol for the simple reason that over tipping will, number one, create a secondary market where foreigners will get better service than locals. Number two, you're setting an artificial standard, which is bad for everyone, which makes sense. That's why I wanted to share this. And because the guy brought up a lot of good points. So who and what to tip in Mexico? Food and drink. Meals at a sit-down restaurant. You're always expected to tip at a restaurant. In most of Mexico, the standard tip should be 10 and 15%. But as mentioned above, if you're at a beach destination or touristy part of Mexico or a trendy restaurant in Mexico City or any city in Mexico that's trendy, high-end, you might be expected to tip in the 15 to 20% range. Again, though, tipping is optional and you should not leave a large tip just because you're expected to. If food service is bad, tip on the lower end. If it's excellent, tip on the higher end. You shouldn't reward bad service, and if push comes to shove, be honest if the waiter asks you, was everything okay? Note, it's always better to leave tips in cash in pesos. Well, because in dollars, the exchange rate everywhere, if you're not close to the border, is like really shitty. It goes the further away you are from the border, the shittier the rate gets, is a general rule of thumb when looking for exchange rates at restaurants and change houses and stuff, or stores, wherever. It tends to get lower and lower the further away you are. And he brought up a good point to leave the tips in cash and in pesos, so that way they don't lose money trying to do the exchange rate, and some places will give them a hard time to use the dollars or Canadian dollars or euros if they're in a rural part of Mexico. I went to a place in Mexico and I ran out of pesos, and I asked the girl, I said, can I pay you in dollars? The lady didn't even know what the fuck a dollar was. Me and my girl started laughing so hard. I was like, are you joking or is this for real? She said, no, it's for real. What's a dollar? She had no idea what a fucking dollar was. And so I couldn't do the exchange rate and stuff. So I said, I'll be back. I went to fucking go to an ATM machine and withdraw the pesos to pay her. But I thought that was funny that someone, didn't know. And this was in a rural part, so they'd never seen a dollar before. And so that's why, it's easier for them to, if you give them tips in their local currency. And they also bring up the point that typically tips paid on credit cards are distributed among staff, whereas tips left in cash go directly to your waiter. I always try to tip in cash too. Sometimes if I don't have enough cash, then I use the card. I tell them to tip on the card. But I always try to give cash directly to the waiter. I hand it to them. And sometimes I'll even give cash to the guys and the girls that are in the kitchen, because they don't get nothing. And these waiters, all they do is bring the food to you, and they get tipped, between 10-20% or more. Can you see 10-20% on the bill amount, and the people in the kitchen and the people that are preparing the food that are actually doing the hard work don't receive anything. So sometimes I'll when I see the kitchen staff that made the food, this won't work in a big restaurant, but in the smaller ones where you can see them, the kitchen's open and they're right there, and you just say, what's up, I'll give them tip each one of them a couple bucks each, just to say thank you. It goes a long way, because they don't receive nothing. So give it directly in cash to the waiter. And make sure the tip isn't already included on the bill. Technically it's illegal, but it happens anyway. Yeah, this happens a lot too, where you see especially in Cancun, they add the fucking gratuity on there automatically, and they're not supposed to. So you could report that to Profetco, take a picture of it. And if you see, if it's even put on the menu, take pictures of it and take pictures of the receipt and send it to Profetco, Profeco. That's who to report them to, so they can fucking take care of it at this place that's doing it illegally, because it sucks, because then they give you shitty service and they expect to get fucking paid and charge you on the tip, especially on the high-end ones. It adds up. The high-end restaurants where your bill's fucking expensive and they're adding 20%, 18% automatically, And so here in bars, just like the restaurants, protocols to tip in the 10 to 15% range. Street food, usually people won't pay a tip for street food, but there's often a coin jar. And if you like the food service, then you can leave the change from your purchase. It's always appreciated. You can leave the change and give some extra, A little bit from us goes a long way. Hotels, housekeeping, it depends on the quality of the hotel and what you're paying. But I will generally leave a tip of 50 pesos a day for the maid. They work hard and don't get paid well. You should always try to leave a tip every day, because the staff often changes and you want to reward the person cleaning your room each day. I do this all the time too. And I'll bring snacks and buy snacks and I'll give it to the housekeeper, the people that are cleaning the rooms, and that stuff goes a long way. Or I'll offer them a beer or a Coke, a soda or something, coconut water, fruit, whatever I can, cookies. They like that, chips. That stuff goes a long way because, you know, they don't get paid that much, and if you give them something that's like a treat for them that they don't really normally go and buy for themselves, they'll do a lot of extra favors for you, you know, when you need help. And so, like I said, these are all tips, just not just for tips, but tips to help you get better service as well. The bellhop, when the bellhop takes you to your room and carries your luggage, I'd recommend leaving them about 50 pesos, of course. That varies with the amount of luggage you have, and if you're a family of 5 suitcases and he has to take multiple trips, then you might want to be more generous. That's obvious. Same thing with a bellhop. If you give them something like chips, candy, soda, a drink, anything, then they'll be happy, along with the money you give them.
You know, I appreciate the outreach, the comments, and the emails. And if you can, share these videos with a friend, or also at the very least, just give it a like. It doesn't cost anything or take more than a half a second for you to click the like, because then what it does when you click like, YouTube will suggest the videos to other people that have the same interests as you. So that's kind of like how the whole algorithm works. And so that goes and helps a lot too, you know, like if you're not writing comments or sending donations or whatever, pressing like and writing a comment helps greatly as well, you know, because then YouTube will know that you find it useful, and that it'll start suggesting, it'll know that it's a legit video that can help somebody, and it'll start suggesting it to other people that are kind of like watching the same things that you're watching.
So I always try to go to the grocery store and buy all these food and snacks and stuff. So, and plus where I stay, usually there's a refrigerator, so I like to put all the food and snacks and stuff in the refrigerator. Room service usually should follow the same rule as you would follow in a restaurant, typically 10 to 15%. Just make sure it hasn't already been on the bill. Always check your bill and make sure they didn't fucking add that shit. And always do the math, because a lot of these places are tricky over here, where they'll add the tip without breaking it down, and they'll say your total. And a lot of people don't catch that. I've caught it a bunch of times where I'm like, why the fuck does the total not add up? You guys added a tip automatically, and they say, oh yeah, it's a tip, but they won't tell you that the tip's added. So you're double tipping. So watch out for that. Uber people usually do tip Uber drivers, and will often do so on the app. I've been told that Uber credits the drivers with the full amount of the tip you give them. Uber makes it easy with 3 recommendations for tips, and I'll usually pay based off the service I feel we receive from the driver. Again, though tipping is optional, I've often had situations where I've had surly drivers and ended up not tipping at all. You don't need to tip all the time for the Uber drivers. You know, they're especially if they're not a good driver, or they don't listen to you on where you want to go and stuff. Like, especially at night when I go home, I always tip those guys because they got me home safe if I'm leaving the club or whatever. So yeah, I always like tip the Uber drivers, especially if it's at night, because they're taking risks and they're out at night. It's very dangerous, especially here in Mexico. Parking lot attendants, you'll see the man who hang around the car park helping people find a parking spot and keeping an eye on your car. Usual practice would be to give them 5 to 10 pesos. You know, like those guys that tell you, okay, go, or try to hold the cars back to let you back out. You give them 5 or 10 pesos. And a lot of the time, these guys don't get no salary or whatever, so that it's like if you park and they're watching your car for you, then you can give a little bit more. But usually if they didn't really do shit and they just come run right up to your car and try to like fucking just tell you, oh, keep going, okay, stop, now you can pull out, you know, you can give them 5-10 pesos. Usually 5 pesos is good just to make them go, especially if they didn't do shit. Gas stations, so like here in Mexico, gas stations are still full service, where they come and they'll fucking fill up your gas, they'll clean your windows, they'll check your air and all that stuff on the tires. And so that's usually tip, and it doesn't cost extra for them to do that. It's just every gas station they do that, and it's pretty cool. I like that. It's kind of like how America was back in the 50s, 60s, when they had the full service gas stations and people just pull up and they do everything for you. And yeah, they'll even fill up your windshield wiper fluids and all that, and oil if you're low on oil, and fill up the air in your tires. And so what's funny is the gas is more expensive here in Mexico than it is in California. So I always try to like get gas over there if I'm over in the other side. But anyways, like these guys, you just tip them. They clean the windows too with the squeegee, and especially if I live by the beach, so my car always gets all fucking dirty, and the windows, you can't see shit. So, you know, I always have them clean all the windows. It says here, people recommend giving 10 to 20 pesos for pumping your gas, and 20 to 30 pesos for engine, liquid check, tire pressure, and windshield cleaning. Yeah, I usually give them $1 for cleaning all that shit. $2 maybe. Sometimes they have hot girls. I've got the girls' numbers, and I gave one of the girls a joint that smokes weed, and so you never know. Like, sometimes there's cute girls working there, so I've gotten her WhatsApp. I haven't hung out with her. That was in a city further south, but if I'm in that city, I'll hit her up. I got her number saved, and I told her I'll hit her up if I'm in that city again. Baggage handlers at the bus station. These are guys that pack your bags away and give you a receipt, and on the other end, take the bag out and hold it for you. You should give them 5 to 10 pesos, preferably on both ends of the bus trip. Tour guides, if you get a tour, you should always pay for a tour. It can be a bit confusing though, depends on the variables, whether it's a group or a private tour, the amount of time and the cost of the tour. Typically, tipping protocol is that you tip 10 to 15% of the cost of the group tour, or if it's a half day or full tour. If it's a multi-day tour, tip 60 to 100 pesos a day. If it's a private tour with no other participants, you should give them about 200 pesos a day. This is what I do, like when I go to these surf towns and stuff, and I go like on these little places where the guys are taking us around on boats and shit and showing us like the mangroves and wherever. 200 pesos per person is good. They're happy with that, which is like 10 bucks. If there's a driver in addition to the guide, you can give them about 50 pesos a day. Other scenarios where you should be ready to tip: grocery stores. There will often be an old man or old lady, and there's also old ladies in the grocery store helping bag your groceries. Most people tip them 3 or 4 pesos. I like to give them 10 because they don't earn a salary. And if they take the bags out to your car or taxi, you might want to pay them 10 to 20 pesos depending on the number of bags. So I'm going to talk about something what happened over here. Like, these people are senior citizens, they don't have jobs. You know, the grocery stores don't. If you've been to a grocery store, they might even be wearing like something like a vest from the store, so it looks like they work there, but they're not being paid by the store. So they're all old people, they're senior citizens, you know, they're bagging your groceries for you. And I always give them like $1, $2, whatever, and they're super happy with that because they're used to getting like 5, 10 pesos. And it's okay to overtip these ones because they're old already and they don't have an income, and they're just, you know, they don't have any way to make income, so they're there trying to make a little bit of extra money. So these lower staff where they're like not getting paid nothing, it's okay to be like more generous and give them more because they get to go. It goes a long way for them if you're helping them out. So be more generous with the grocery store old people and people that don't earn salaries or whatever, because this will help them a lot. It'll help them greatly. And like Walmart over here got rid of the fucking people, and everyone was getting pissed at Walmart. A lot of people stopped shopping at Walmart because they got rid of all those senior citizens that were bagging. Even me, I noticed that Walmart here is more expensive than the local grocery stores, like the grocery store chains here, like Soriana and Calimax. I like Soriana better. Soriana is kind of like a Mexican version of Walmart, but they always have these like really good deals, like buy 2, buy 1, get the second off, or buy 3, buy 4, buy 4, pay for 3. These kind of deals where really good promotions and stuff. So whenever they always do it on alcohol too. So whenever the alcohol, we just went today, and the alcohol was buy 4, pay for 3, or buy 3, get 1 free, pretty much is, but they do it backwards. They say it backwards. So I bought a shit ton of these drinks, like the one she's drinking right here, and got a whole fucking cart full. I took all the ones they had there and I just stocked up on it because the girls all drink it, and it's like you're getting buy 3, get 1 free. You know, it's like you're getting a free one. The 4th one's for free. So I prefer to go to Soriana, and then Calimax is another one. Those are the 2 that I like to go shopping at over here. But Walmart is like my last choice unless they have something that I need there that I can't get anywhere else. But I usually prefer to go to whatever, or if I'm in like some other towns, they have a chain called Chedraui. That one's good too. They're like similar to like how you would look at a Walmart, and they got like a lot of different kind of goods over there. So that's my other like grocery store chain that I like to go to. But anyways, I just thought I'd share that because Walmart, you would think is cheaper in America for everything. You know that Walmart always has the cheap shit in Walmart in America, but over in Mexico, it's not the case. Everyone like notices it and they complain, and then they notice that Walmart's more expensive here. So, and plus I prefer to support a local. If you can shop local, go to like a local grocery or a small mom and pop shop if you can, if they're around, and support them, like local fruit vendors or the fruit stands and like places like Swap Meats. These people are trying to make a living selling like that. Try and support them there. Mariachi, how much to give? 20 pesos a song is good, a good amount, but not more. If you're not interested, it can be annoying to have a mariachi group coming to your table when you're having a conversation. Just tell them politely before they start singing. Yeah, dude. One time I went with my girls to this mariachi place, to this famous Mexican seafood place down here, and the guys fucking came up and started playing, and we thought normally it's like a fucking $5 a song at the most, but they neighbor girl's messaging me right now. I'm seeing it flash on the screen. She's like, can I come over? Can I sleep over? So what are you doing? Maybe I will tell her to sleep over if she's not going to sleep over. But anyways, now I lost my train of thought seeing the notifications pop up on the screen. Oh, the mariachis. I went to the mariachi place, and you would expect it only to be $5 a song. They were charging $20 a song, and they played like 7 fucking songs, dude. So we were in for like $150, and we're like, me and the girls were like, what the fuck? Even one of the girls, because she kept asking for them, she's all, I'll help pay for it. She's all, here's $100. She gave me $100 to pay for it. I was like, nah, it's cool. She's all, no. She's all, I'm the one that asked them to play all the songs, so she gave $100 for it, and I paid the rest. But I thought that was a pretty noble thing of her to do. But anyway, and that's another point that you want to bring to, if they're not using you for money, the girls will pay for stuff and offer and not expect you to be fucking paying for everything, you know. But if they're using you, they're gonna expect you to pay for everything and expect you to pay them like a huge salary or whatever for the time they spent with you and thing, because they don't want to be with you. You know, if you were a hot girl and you saw you, would you want to hang out with you? Most of you won't even hang out with yourself, you know. So that's a good way to look at it. If you wouldn't want to hang out with yourself, then why should anyone else? And that's why you got to end up paying a lot, because they don't want to have nothing to do with you. Anyways, spas, massages, barbers, hairdressers, again, you should tip 10% minimum to 20% max. Maximum is typical for tourist destinations. If not sure, 15 is safe amounts to tip. Sometimes when I get massages, sometimes the massage is like $20 and you give $10 tip. That's like 50% right there, you know? So especially if the girls, they don't make that much. Like I said, these low-level girls or low-level people that aren't getting that much, then give a little bit more. Massages are cheap. The spas are cheap here. Barbers and hairdressers are cheap. Nail people are all cheap, you know. A lot cheaper than America. All right, home deliveries. When you have goods or service delivered to your home, you should expect to tip the service providers. Examples include gas deliveries, water bottle deliveries, supermarket, postal services, Amazon, Mercado Libre. 10 to 20 pesos is sufficient. Yeah. When the guys come down and bring the gas tanks, I give those guys like 50 to 100 pesos because they got to walk down the stairs and carry these big ass fucking, they look like oversized scuba tanks that are like, that's what the gas is. And so that's it's heavy. I've tried doing it myself before. I ain't doing it no more. And these guys are bringing 2 or 3 of these things at a time. And so I give them more. And even the water guy, like the big jugs of water, they call them garrafones here, like the 5-gallon jugs. That guy brings down he goes up and down the stairs and brings down six of these jugs. So I give that guy like 100 pesos too, just for doing that shit, because that's a lot of work, you know. So sometimes you gotta just pay according to the work they're doing, you know. They work hard. Final thoughts on tipping in Mexico. There's nothing wrong with being generous when tipping. I usually over tip, especially when it comes to lower end workers like the maids, Uber drivers, delivery people, and the old man packing the bag at the grocery store. What I don't like tipping is when tipping is expected for mediocre service. Again, tipping in Mexico is exactly what it should be about, bonus for good service. If service is not so good, I'll show it in the amount I leave. I've had occasions where the service was so bad I walked out without leaving a tip, and that's happened twice. Thankfully, bad service is rare in Mexico, and I find most service workers friendly, attentive, and willing to please, and I'll always be happy to tip for that. That's true. And like a lot of time you'll get like shitty service, or they'll fuck up and they'll be assholes, or they expect it. I don't like that, man. It's very rare, too, that I don't leave a tip unless they really fuck shit up and piss me off. Then I won't leave them nothing. Or if they try to argue with me and stuff, then I won't leave them nothing. Why would you're there to fucking give them business, and then the person is arguing with you or like trying to make you look stupid or trying to rip you off? They don't deserve nothing, you know. And so that was a good article from this guy. So if you guys get a chance, you want to look, he's got a lot of helpful tips for things to do. Maybe I'll put in my email right now and subscribe to his newsletter while I'm at it. But anyways, his name is bbqboy.net, so you guys can go check out his blogs and stuff, and maybe you'll even see the article that I read off this stuff right here. So all right, well, that's it for now. Maybe share your experiences of the places you've gone and how much you're tipping, even if it's not in Mexico. What's the standard tipping protocol over there? You know, America fucking shit is getting out of hand with the tips and stuff. Like everywhere you go, even if they don't do anything for you, they've already got it on the screen in front of you expecting you to leave a tip for them not doing anything extra or anything special. They didn't even serve you or anything. They just took your fucking order and they expect to get tipped for anything. It's just out of hand. And then if you give anything lower than 15% or even 20% now, they look at you and give you fucking dirty looks and stuff. That's where it's like, that's what it makes it even worse. So yeah, if you experience any of this stuff anywhere you've gone, write down the standard tipping percentages. And you know, a lot of people read the comments and stuff, and people get a lot of value out of that as well. So write that in the comments. And also, if you made it this far, write that you made it to the end, so that way it stands out to me more and I can acknowledge you and know who the true supporters are that actually, you know, stick around to the end. A lot of guys, these videos are long, so it helps me to know that, oh yeah, people are actually still paying attention at the very end. So that's why I like to acknowledge the people that are the true supporters. You guys are the true supporters that make it this far. So all right, well, that's it for now, guys. Hope you found this helpful. And again, leave a comment and or share this with your friends that maybe are going to be visiting, our new visitors, and this can help them as well to have an idea of how much to tip, and especially if you're planning on living here or staying for long periods of time, or maybe not living, but staying for longer periods of time, not just being a typical tourist for the weekend or the week. You know, this will help you to like be more blending in and be doing the appropriate stuff. All right, talk to you guys soon. Adios, pura vida, bye. Dice adios, baby. Dice adios. Bye. Guys, it's finally here. I got the Jedi group open, and I got a website put together for all you guys that can reach out to me instead of sending me an email. The website's 420john69.com, and pretty much everything you need is listed out on the links above and the links below. So if you're interested in the Jedi group, if you're interested in getting help with a trip, relationship advice, credit card service, real estate, affiliate programs, pretty much anything that I'm talking about, business, investments, it's all on the website, so that way you guys can help me help you a lot faster. That way I don't miss out on any of the emails, and it'll help me stay in touch with you guys. Even if something happens to the channel or the Instagram or whatever, if everything gets taken down or blocked by the platforms, I'll still have a way to get in touch with you guys. So go ahead and go to the website and pick whichever link that you need help on and fill out the information, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Look forward to seeing you there. All right, talk to you guys soon. Adios, pura vida. All right, guys, so I'm putting together these groups, my Jedi Master Inner Circle. So there's gonna be 2 levels to it. You're gonna have the Jedi Masters, which are the guys that are making 100K or more per year at least, and have been well-traveled, have a lot of experience, and know of different places that we can go to experience and find beautiful girls and be able to share amongst everyone and give advice to other people as well. And then we're also going to have the young Jedis that maybe aren't as experienced or just starting out in life, or are young and don't really have much money, but they want to live this lifestyle. They're being inspired, and they want to start and learn and be able to communicate with each other. So that'll be the second level. And of course the Jedi Master level will be in both, so that you'll have the Jedi Masters also helping the young Jedis by answering questions for people that are new. And then the Jedi Masters, what we're gonna do is have like trips maybe once a year where all of us Jedi Masters come together and go to a destination where we'll be able to experience all of this together and share and network and share financial advice, how to make money. It'll be how to make money, how to deal with breakups, how to meet girls. Pretty much everything that you're seeing on my videos that I'm teaching, we'll be able to network and do it in person, and put together these groups and meetings for people, and kind of be me as the connector, connecting all of you guys together, because I'm getting all these messages from people from all walks of life in different parts of the world. And a lot of you guys tell me that you don't have anyone to share these experiences with, or share your stories and share all the knowledge that you've accumulated throughout the years. And once you communicate with me, it's like you're spilling your entire story because you're so excited to tell someone finally, because there's no one else you can't tell your friends, can't tell your family, and there's no one you can ask questions. There's no one you can share these intimate details with. And so I want to bring you guys together with other like-minded people that are watching my videos and kind of want to live this lifestyle as well. And let me know which Jedi Master or Jedi part level in the inner circle that you want to be in. There's going to be either the young Jedi or the Jedi Masters, and the Jedi Masters is going to be for you guys to join. That's the screening process. And then we got the young Jedis for $50. That way it's affordable. And the is to screen out. Obviously, if you're doing well, isn't much. And then it keeps out the people that aren't serious. It's kind of like how to weed out the people that aren't really real. And of course, there's going to be moderation, and there's going to be like content moderation, where I moderate who gets in and interview the people that want to come in to make sure they're real. And that way, everyone that's in the group is actually there because they want to be, and that they share this similar outlook on life and want to live this type of life and level up even more, make more connections, make more friends, kind of like me and Tim, the 72-year-old that you've been seeing interview, and other people you haven't seen in my videos that I hang out with. It'll be kind of like being into the inner circle and make these kind of bonds
that will last a lifetime, and these kind of memories that we can share together and have some awesome adventures together. You guys will be invited once you pay the entrance fee, and then we'll get you in. All right, guys, that's it. Adios, pura vida. You say adios, baby.
Adios.
Bye. Well, guys, if you coming down here to Cancun, Playa del Carmen, I have friends down here as well that can take care of stuff. If you're heading down to Costa Rica, I got friends in Costa Rica that can help take care of the stuff, you know, help assist with transportation and activities and lodging and things like that. And then the business that helped me live this life is the credit card service business. So if you own a business and you're still paying the credit card fees, you don't have to do that anymore. Stop wasting your money. You could be enjoying it every month instead of like whatever you're paying to the bank, $1,000, $2,000 to the bank every month. You take it and go on a vacation. Look at the ocean, how beautiful it is down here, and the weather's perfect. It's so early in the morning, I'm already sweating. It's tropical, and people are swimming down there, if you could see. And the only thing I wish that was down here is that there was more waves. But like I said, if you own a business, you don't have to pay for the fees. You can use it for vacation, take your family out, reinvest in your business, or whatever it is you want to do with it. It's way better than wasting it, paying it to the bank and getting nothing in return. So that's it. All right, that's it for now. Talk to you guys later. Adios.